Alright, welcome back to another episode of Growin Some Veg, the show where I show you the wholesome vegetables. It's been about 2 weeks since we did an episode of this. It's about the same, but there's enough growth to be surprising, and honestly I'm shocked by how well everything's coming up. Here's the beets. I should probably thin the beets. I don't know, I feel guilty about killing them, but they are growing pretty close together. We got the carrots. The carrots are doing okay. They're still pretty delicate, but I think with a little watering they can produce some healthy carrots. We got the potatoes. The potatoes were almost killed by weeds. They were almost outgrown by weeds, but as you can see, I picked the weeds last week. I didn't even notice that there were weeds, but I noticed them, and I picked them, and this potato is doing good, as is this potato. We got the squash. The squash is doing probably the best of any of them. We also got the onions. The onions, I don't really care if they come up. I don't even like onions, but, you know, they're okay. And then we got cucumbers. The cucumbers are doing pretty good. They're back here in the shade because, as they say, cool as a cucumber. I took that expression to heart and said, maybe they like the shade, you know. Maybe they like to be under this large shade tree. So there's the cucumbers. Okay. Then we got the lettuce. The lettuce is doing good. It's very nice and leafy, very ready for a salad. I might let about 1/3 of it bolt so I can gather the seeds for next year. We got the tomatoes. Last week, or 3 weeks ago, there was a huge weed in the middle of this tomato cage, but luckily I noticed it and I picked it, and now here's a real tomato and there's a real tomato and not the phony weeds. Okay, then we got the corn. The corn is doing really good, and as you probably know, corn grows like hella fast. Here's the corn. Whoa. This is just, you know, these corn stalks are just coming up like, and there's grass. There's this bastard grass that grows really close to the corn, and like, it likes to pretend that it's corn, but it's not. They're very different, and it's easy to tell the difference. But these grasses like to grow near the corn, so I think that they're corn. Maybe I should thin these corn. They are growing pretty close together. I don't think I've ever seen a corn patch with the corn stalks this close. Alright, then we got the peppers. The peppers are still doing good. No peppers yet, but there's plenty of bees around. Ladybugs, you know, pollinators, so I'm thinking if there's 2 genders to any of these plants, which I forget which there's 2 genders to which plants, but if there are, they'll be pollinated easy. There's bees all over. But this here is the peppers. This is the old bell pepper section. Here's the new spice pepper section. I organized them from least hot on this end to most hot on this end, and I put them in a special blend of soil which is designed to keep them arid, dry, and I always make sure that I water them the most. It's meant to emulate desert soil. Likewise, the beet soil is meant to be very iron filled, and the potato soil is meant to be kind of soft and, you know, conducive to potatoes. Same goes for the peppers. The pepper soil is very dry. This is Sugar Rush Peach over here, and I think this is probably Carolina Reaper here. The Carolina Reaper is doing good. And again, if a Carolina Reaper ever grows, I'll eat it live on camera. Other fellows have done that. There's an interesting bug there. Anyway, so here's the peas. I should really check more on the... Oh, there's a little pea, right? No, that's just a leaf. But the peas are doing real good. The peas are doing... Here's a climber, see? It's just climbing up this fence here, just like I thought it would. The beans, they're not doing so good. This might be a weed. I should probably get it picked. Oh, I think that's beans there. So yeah, beans are doing okay. I like peas more anyway, so I shouldn't worry too much about the beans, but if there's any weeds I notice back there, I'll pick them. So there's been a 2-week growing some vegetables update. As you can see, things are growing quite a bit. There are some weeds. I do need to pick them. And I might also need to thin some crops out, especially the beets and the corn. But overall, everything is still doing fantastically well, far more than I would have expected. So yeah. Anywho, hope you enjoyed this look into the vegetables. There's nothing better than a tasty dish of vegetables. So eat some vegetables today, because they're one of the best food groups, full of vitamins. Eat some veg, you know. That's my advice. Anyway, beautiful. I had to give a little addendum. The compost, there's mushrooms in it. Mushrooms, I don't mind. They're great decomposers. This compost is going to be decomposed in no time. Flat mushrooms are an excellent size of decomposing. Look at this. Whoa, cool. Wow. Some mushrooms. Ooh, nice. Amazing. Anyway, yeah, that's really cool. That is just the coolest.